I'm Tony Crimlisk. This is a song you might know, Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. This is in fact one of the songs that's included in my tutor book that I wrote for absolute beginners. Born in the mountaintop in Tennessee, green estate in the land of the free, raised in the woods so he knew every tree, killed him a bear when he was only 3. Oh, Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Fought single-handed in the Indian War till the wars were done and peace was sure. And while he was handling this risky chore, made himself a legend forevermore. Oh, Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Now when he lost his love, his grief was gall, and in his heart he wanted to leave it all and lose himself in the forest tall. But he answered instead his country's call. Now he went off to Congress and he served a spell, fixing up the government and laws as well. Took over Washington, so I've heard tell, and passed him a crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy, Davy Crockett, seeing his duty clear. Now when he came home, his politicking done, the big western march had just begun. So he packed his gear and his trusty gun and set out a-grinning to follow the sun. Ah, Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Oh yes, Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Now this song is in the key of C, and I wanted to keep it in the key of C because I wanted to get this particular pattern. Fingerstyle pattern, but I've raised it by a tone because it suits my voice a little bit better, so I've used a capo as well. But you don't need to do that. This, as I say, is a pretty straightforward 4-chord song, and not, as many people might think, a traditional one. It was in fact specially written for the 1954-55 TV series, and it's credited to the comedian George Burns and W. Blackburn. Davy Crockett was the subject of legend, comic books, and in 1955 a Disney film starring Fess Barker, largely as a result of his own writings about extraordinary adventures that he had, probably mostly made up. But he was a real person, a French Huguenot ancestry from Northern Ireland. He was born in eastern Tennessee, which doesn't exist anymore, in 1785, and he died in 1836. Apart from being an American folk hero, frontiersman and soldier, he was also a politician who represented Tennessee in the US House of Representatives and served in the Texas Revolution. Quite an extraordinary career. The chords in this song are pretty straightforward. There's a C chord, an F chord, a G7, and there's also a D7, Hawaiian version. So I won't waste time with those. We'll look at the accompanying pattern. Now the ukulele is normally tuned to what's known as re-entrant tuning as opposed to linear tuning, which means that it starts with a high G, then they go down in pitch to the C, and then E and A, getting higher as you go up. Unlike other instruments like the guitar, for example, where you start off with a low sounding string and gradually get higher and higher in pitch. Here, for example, is the guitar, and it's got a low E string here, and it gradually goes up. A, D, getting higher and higher as you go up. That means you can play the little bit of bass melody on the lower strings. Which you can't do on a ukulele normally. Change string 4 to a thicker string, especially the low G string. Now you get the linear tuning. They go higher a pitch each time. I think that gives a richer sound to the chords. There's also music you can play a little tune to the bass ones. I'm using my fingers now on the strings. The thumb on string 4, first finger on string 3, second finger on string 2, and the third finger on string 1. Now you can play an interesting bass line, alternating C and G. And then with the G chord you can go either from a G or from the D. F. G again. The fingers are just plucking strings together, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. But of course you don't have to do that. You can stick with just brushing as normally. Anyway, hope you found that interesting and helpful, and as always, whatever you do, however you do it, have fun.